5 things that poor people do that rich people don't. And before I even get into this video, guys, I really want to tell you guys a short story, right? I remember being in college and spending thousands of dollars a month on sneakers, on buying a whole bunch of materialistic things and coming home and feeling empty. But even emptier than I felt, my wallet felt even emptiest out of all these things because I had like not a single dollar. And every time I would get paid on Fridays, I was heading straight to the store to spend my money on all these things. Why? Because I didn't know how to buy assets. I didn't have any information on any of the things I'm going to tell you guys right now. So it's very important that you guys actually listen. And it's a short video, so sit down and enjoy. So now the first thing that poor people do that rich people don't is that they care so much about the wrong brand stuff. And what I mean by this is, for example, a poor person will walk into a store, and when I say poor, I mean mentality, because there are a lot of people out there that are actually rich in mentality and they're poor in person, but they're actually trying to get to a rich place or whatever, rich state. So they do a lot of things that rich people do, and that's actually very good. But the first thing is branding, right? A poor person would buy like Nike, Jordans, Gucci, a whole bunch of any brand things you can think of. They would spend their money on those things. But a rich person would be worried about the branding of, like, for example, well, what stock is that? How do I buy? How do I invest money in that? What brand is that company? What do they stand for? These are the big questions that you ask when it comes to branding. And Berkshire Hathaway, oh my gosh, that's such a powerful brand. Nike is such a powerful brand. So while that person is worried about the products that those companies produce, the other person is worried about the business and how to get inside of the business. And that's something that even I had problems with, which I was a consumer. I was spending thousands of dollars a month on sneakers, guys. And this was like super serious. I don't want you guys to do that at all. So now the second thing is liabilities. Now, you see a lot of people out there that they only buy liabilities, and I can't even judge anyone because I remember when I was growing up, I had no idea what a liability was or what an asset was, and no one taught me this. I literally had to go out of my way, actually read a book on this because I had like this little spark. So I hope this video sparks something in you. And by the way, if you don't know what an asset or liability is, liability takes money from your pocket, asset puts money into your pocket. So you see a lot of poor people, they buy cars, that's taking money out your pocket. They buy houses, mortgages, and all these things, and that takes money out your pocket. It's not producing anything. That's why you see so many people out there that they go 40 years paying mortgage, and by the time they actually finish paying off the house, they die. Then their kids inherit the house, and their kids just sell it because they don't care. So you might as well be better off just literally like renting a place. You know what I mean? It's basically the same thing because you're not gonna enjoy anything, and you're actually not producing anything from it. And that's the main thing. Now, the third thing is vacation. Now, me personally, I go on vacation once a year for 14 days. And don't worry, guys, when I go on vacation, I'm going to make sure I leave some videos already pre-recorded and are going to upload to the channel because I don't want to walk away and not upload for those 14 days, right? But I see a lot of people out there that when they go on vacation, they go on vacations like 5-6 times a year. They go on vacation 5 to 6 times a year, spend $15,000 to $20,000 on vacations, come back with some pictures and fancy stories, and then come back to the same struggle because they could have spent that money on something else that was going to produce money for them, but they didn't. And that's the main issue. Now, I know someone out there, guys. I know a lot of people out there. And I know this one person, and he tells me, Tommy, I've been every single place that you can think of. And I asked him, was that worth it? And he tells me, no, it wasn't worth it. And I said, why isn't it worth it? Why do you think it wasn't worth it? Like getting to know all these places and having all these experiences. He tells me, because I'm in my 30s. It doesn't really matter what I experienced in all of those things because I spent so much money and all those things. And in reality, if I had saved that money and I had invested it, then I would have been in a completely different space. I wouldn't have to work as hard as I do in my 30s now because I could have easily retired with like spending like $20,000 a year on vacation and then going to Hawaii, going to all these places. But I always came home to the same thing. It was an escape for that moment. When I came home to the same thing. Doesn't matter how many times you escape from a reality, you always come home to the same thing. And that's the main thing. A rich person, a rich mentality would figure out that I have to work hard in the beginning, or maybe if I want to go on vacation, I can just get a credit card that earns me points and just travel for free, and not travel like 4 or 5 times a year for some Instagram pictures that cost you $20,000. It's not worth it, bro. So save up your money, invest, and you're gonna get to a point where you can travel, you can go wherever you want to go, however you want to do it. You can come back home to a happy life because you don't have to worry about working that job that you hate. And that's something I want to avoid at all costs. Now, the fourth thing is quick money. I know a lot of people out there, guys, that they tell me, Tommy, I have this great idea. We're going to invest into Bitcoin. And then in 5 days, we're going to be so rich. Or we're going to join this entire scheme. And you put in $100 and you get $1,000 back in like 10 days. And I'm like, what? Do you understand how money works? You're telling me you can quadruple 10 times your money in literally less than 10 days? I'm not trusting that. I'm not going into that. But Listen, man, a lot of people that are poor, they're willing to risk their money, and I don't know why. And that's because they have this herd mentality that they have a fear of missing out. You know that FOMO quote is the fear of missing out. So if you see your friends making money doing something, you want to jump in and you want to make money with them because you feel as if everything is good. And that's what happened in 2008 bubble when that shit popped. And also, like the depression. During the depression, people literally committed suicide because they couldn't figure out how to get rid of all the debt that they had accumulated because they thought that those good times are gonna last forever. And I don't want any of you to make those same mistakes because good times and that herd mentality, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Now, a rich person would see a situation like that and say, well, I see how it works. Let me see how this works, how that works. Let me calculate this. Well, guess what? That's too good to be true. But they would actually join some type of business that a poor person wouldn't even have the mentality to know how to get into and go inside there and make money that's actually quick money, but in a safe and smart way because they have the experience and expertise to actually evaluate and make as much money as they possibly can. But a poor person wouldn't know how to do that because they're so focused on making the quick buck and they're so focused on not missing out on that money and that quick opportunity. And listen, man, I don't know why people are such in a big rush. Like, bro, you're gonna live for the next 40 to 60 years. Stop being in such a big rush to like mess up your entire life. Trust me, you don't want to do that. Now, the fifth and final thing that poor people do that rich people don't is taking risks. I know people out there, guys, my own family. I have family members that are in their 60s, 70s that literally have never taken a single risk in their entire life trying to like be secure and protective, and they're literally now about to retire not knowing how they're actually going to make money and having to work even longer throughout their retirement because guess what? They never saved any money and they were always on the same job and they always just made enough money to get by. What happens now when you're about to retire? Yes, you're gonna get this retirement fund, but guess what? It's not enough to cover all your bills that you accumulated. And that's something that I don't like. So a rich person would actually do, you know what they would do? They would assimilate the risk. They would figure out the risk and they would minimize it by having expertise, by searching and finding out what they can do to minimize the risk. For example, if you want to invest in the stock market, it's too risky, let's do this. Bro, invest in some index funds. If you don't know what that is, do research on it, take courses, and actually, once you have the information, guys, nothing is really risky. Whatever is risky and you're willing to risk your money into, but you have the knowledge and the prior experience, guess what? You can minimize the risk because you know exactly what to do. You know what the worst scenario is, and you also know what the best scenario is. But when somebody is inexperienced and doesn't know anything to do and has this poor mentality, and you jump into something like that, when things go bad, you don't know what to do. And that's when the stock market crashes and all these things happen. People are freaking out because they don't know what to do. So you need to build up your expertise. You need to build up your knowledge at all costs. Guys, my name is TommyBryson. If you don't know me, you know me now. Subscribe, comment, like, and do all that fancy stuff. Make sure you comment, yo. Make sure you comment because if you comment, every comment gets the video 1,000 views. If you don't believe me, go ahead and comment. And by the way, if you have any other things that you feel as if like poor people do that rich people don't, if you have any complaints about what I said, anything here, comment down below. I'll be down in the comments down below answering those comments. I'll see you guys next time in the next video, and peace. By the way, I know a lot of people out there that are always telling me, yo, Tommy, you're living way too slow. You need to enjoy yourself. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I see them taking on this entire thing, right? Which is like, I live my life now and I don't care what happens later because I need to experience my life now while I'm young. Guess what, bro? It's not the right move. And I've seen countless people in their 30s, 40s that say, I wish I didn't do that when I was young because it was dumb. And I wish that I was working harder so I can live a better life now because this is going to be the end of my life now. You know, when 40s to 80s to 90s, like that's the most important part of your life. But in your 20s, it's even more important. It's more critical because this is the part where you're supposed to be working really hard so you can support your future self for like the rest of your life. And you can actually experience your life for the rest of your life. So I see a lot of people out there that tell me, Tommy, you don't have a car, you don't drive this, you don't do that. And I say to myself, I'm going to have a Tesla. You can have your car now, but when I buy my car, you can 100% be guaranteed that my car is going to be paid for by somebody else because I'm going to have passive income while you're paying for your car out of your own pocket, and you literally have so many bills that you don't even have enough money to save for yourself every single month. I'll see you guys next time on the next video, and I just really want to get that off my head. Peace. You've got to start at the bottom if you're ever going to reach the top. You've got to watch all the seeds you sow.